strategy, by the way. It's called 60 Plus. And I highly encourage all of you to check out 60 Plus, as my mom was going to renew her AARP, and I had to sit down and try to talk to her. You know, I don't believe in pushing one person one way or another. I believe give people the facts and let them decide their own destinies. So, yes, sir.
You know, I've been watching political campaigns, and we've gotten very good. Every campaign, I'm a Democrat, Republican, getting organized for campaigns. And it seems to me like it used to be, okay, there was a campaign and it was over. Now it just seems like all the time.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is if you can add that same amount of gusto and organization. You've got captains all over here, you know, out in the streets, knocking on doors, making phone calls. That same gusto that once you get in office, that those people would maybe be turned around and become part of your liaison to us in the community so we feel that our voice is being heard and our problems are being heard.
Oh boy. I wish I could tell you about our strategy, but I won't because it'll be, you know, we can't. Obviously some people are listening. And that one was played to the camera, by the way. But here's my problem. And I hope that I don't insult anyone's intelligence, but I would never, ever ask for anyone to be my liaison to a community. If I can't do that myself, if you can't call me at home, I don't deserve, well, I won't say because it'll probably be on a soundbite. No one deserves to be elected that does not allow you to contact them. We work for you. That's one of the reasons why you won't find Rocky for Congress on our website. We named it Rocky Works for Us because I gained a reputation of handing out my home phone number, and I hand out my cell phone number. And many people call me, and my phone is constantly getting yelled at because the messages are always full, and I have to clean it off. But I appreciate what you're saying, and yes, we are very organized. I can't go into the details, but I will tell you this, that if I can't be the liaison to you, if I can't be your representative personally, if you can't touch me, feel me, and know who I am, and count me, or look me straight in the eyes, and see me say yes or no to you, then I don't deserve, well, again, let me straight that and say that no one that can't do that, or someone that doesn't do that does not deserve you. You gotta watch what I say. The problem is I gotta watch what I say so it's not used in a bad TV commercial. Right. And by the end, keep smiling, that's right. By the way, I use Crest X. Let me just, yes, sir.
A couple of months ago, David Littman at a similar kind of meeting said that for the state of Michigan, we need to slash spending by at least 13%. That's a whopping.
Yeah, $2 billion.
And the U.S. government is going to have to do something of equal proportion.
I was just waiting for this question.
Where would you begin slashing? And
here's where I would slash. Are you ready for this? Let's start with the Department of Defense. All nation building programs need to be slashed. The Department of Defense, we have something called the 3D concept right now, which was brought in originally by Bush and really expanded by Secretary Clinton. And that's defense through the military, development through USAID, United States Agency for International Development, and then diplomacy from Department of State, where all 3 Ds, we do everything that maybe you've heard her say, in a 3-stool method, where a 3-foot stool method, where we go in and basically fix what we need to fix. Well, I disagree with fixing the rest of the world. We need to fix our own country. So number one, any nation building the Department of Defense does, eliminate it. Eliminate it. Number two, every single department takes a 10% cut. Every single department. Except for my sacred cows. My sacred cows are the Department of Energy and Department of Education. And I'll tell you why. Because I would eliminate them totally. By the way, on the Department of Education, why I say Department of Education, recently you may have heard about, I think it was about 3 months ago, there was this textbook conversation about textbooks. And where did they go to watch what kind of textbooks we were going to buy? Yeah, they didn't go to Washington, D.C. to the Department of Education. They went to Texas and a Texas school board that reviewed textbooks because they buy the most textbooks, and then other states could buy them at a cheaper rate to get a mass discount. boy, they're using capitalism in the education system. Wow, that's amazing. But they didn't go to Washington because the Department of Education does very little. We have a lot of unfunded mandates, and I'll tell you, even what Bush did with No Child Left Behind. What a garbage program. What a garbage program. All these programs, unfunded mandates, all this, that, the other. There's too much of it. Department of Education needs to go. Department of Energy, their mandate was to limit our dependence on foreign oils, foreign energies. How are we doing with that? Not too good.
Not working.
So, they need to go. All departments, 10% cuts. And then, let's talk about some real other outside-of-the-box issues, like making English the sole language of the United States. That's perfect, because then we simplify all of our documentation in our plans. We need to stop legal immigration with benefits. We need to bring back the sponsorship program. Therefore, we save a little bit more. And lastly, we need to stop legal immigration with the RAP program, unless it's for specific national defense purposes. And lastly, illegal immigration. We preserve and protect our borders, stop illegal immigration, but number one is the illegal immigrants that are in the United States. I do believe that if you're an employer that hires an illegal immigrant working for a corporation, because let me tell you, civilians, individuals, normal individuals, it's hard to tell who is legal or who isn't illegal, or who is illegal. But if you're a corporation, you're mandated to get the Social Security and hopefully to do E-Verify. Hopefully you do an E-Verify system on the individual. So if you've hired illegal immigrants, I believe you should pay a serious fine. I know that's not always popular with the and that way what we do is we eliminate the entire deficit. We eliminate the entire deficit and slowly start paying down the debt. We can't pay off the debt immediately. With the cuts that I'm encouraging right now, we would pay down the entire deficit and slowly start paying down the debt, because we can't pay down the debt immediately. We can't pay down $13.1 or $2 trillion overnight. Think about this. We're approaching the 100% to GDP to debt ratio. And somebody asked me what my what my top 3 issues were actually running for this office, and I keep telling them, national debt, national debt, national debt. Because if we talk about everything in politics, from health care to Social Security to the military to our economy, the national debt will ruin this country. It's being spent. John McCain, you know, like John McCain or not, did I answer your question? Like John McCain or not like John McCain, he had a great one-liner. He had a one-liner during the campaign he used, because as you know, he was a naval pilot. His father and his grandfather were both admirals. And he said, in Washington, let me see if I got this right. In Washington, they spend money like a drunken sailor. And then he said, as a matter of fact, I got a letter from a drunken sailor that took objection to the fact that I said, comparing Congress to drunken sailors. He said drunken sailors had a lot more discipline than Congress.